Alright, so today I want to talk about a business idea that I had like 2 years ago that backfired quite horribly, so that you don't make the same mistake as I did. So, a few years ago, I was obsessed with becoming rich. I tried and I wanted to do all the things to become rich. I was so interested in drop shipping, coding, and all the things people promoted that would get you rich. And I watched a lot of Andrew Tate. And I know what you might be thinking. How dare you watch Andrew Tate? He's a misogynist, he's an alleged human trafficker. But what initially got me, one of the things that got me initially to listening to Andrew Tate was not necessarily his advice on women, because we all kind of knew that his takes on women and how to have a healthy relationship was not necessarily the best. But it seemed like when it came to money and becoming rich, Andrew Tate was a more reliable source that had credibility, because he was rich himself. He was constantly flashing his Lambos, Bugattis, his mega mansions and all that, his yachts like on camera. So it really felt like if you listen to Andrew Tate, you could become rich and get that lifestyle yourself. And so I remember listening a lot to Andrew Tate's advice on making money, and one of the things he preached was to stand in the way of money. That, like, when someone is paying money to someone else, that you have to stand here in the way and you have to collect the money yourself. So, like, imagine when someone, for example, this is an example that Andrew Tate himself brought up, like when someone is buying food and buying groceries so that they then can take it home, that you stand in the way and you are like, hey, I can deliver all your groceries and all your food home, so you don't have to take it yourself, and I will charge some money for it. So in that way, you like stand in the way of money. And so Andrew Tate really emphasized the importance of standing in the way of money, so that you could like collect money that was flowing from one person to another, and that you would take some money yourself. And so because of that, I one night conceived this like ultra master plan, and it was the ultimate way to stand in the way of money. So basically, here is how my idea was like. So imagine this company, we're gonna call it Company A, which helps people start their own companies. It's like when people promote that, like, instead of digging gold, you should be profiting off of giving people shovels so that they can dig gold. So, like, instead of starting your own business, you should help other people start their businesses. So, let's say we have this Company A that helps other people start their companies. So it's like a startup company assistance, like a startup business assistance. Now imagine this individual called, for example, Joseph. But I'm gonna use the Swedish pronunciation for Joseph, which is Josef, because it sounds more funny, let's be real. So let's say Josef, he wants to start a company, but he doesn't know how. He needs some assistance. He probably needs to invest some like money for that business, and so he needs help. So he goes to Company A that can help him start a business. But that's when I thought to myself, I'm gonna stand in the way of money. So instead of him, Yusuf, going to Company A, he would go to me, and I would be like, hey, what is your name? Oh, I am Youssef. Oh, what do you want to start? What kind of business do you want to start? Oh, yeah, I want to start cleaning other people's houses, let's say. And I'm gonna be like, okay, how much money do you need for this? What help do you need? Oh, yeah, I need to borrow maybe like $200 or something, just as an example. And I would collect all that information, and then I myself would go to company A, and I would be like, "Hi, company A, I am Youssef. I want to start a cleaning company. I need to borrow like $200. Like, can you imagine? I would be like, I am Youssef." I just remembered laughing hysterically that night when I was thinking about this idea because of how stupidly genius it seemed. Like, I would just go to that company and I would be like, I am Youssef. However, I would not be laughing for long. So, after I got that idea, I started realizing my dreams. So, I started working on this. So, I set up a website and I created this like beautiful aesthetic front page, or like, we are this business. We can help you with this, and I got like amazing flow charts, amazing images, like stock images. Here is what this company can do for you. And I wrote like professional text so that this website would seem as professional as possible. And then I set up like an email address, and it was like my Gmail address. But then I got an like a notification or something that if you use your Gmail address, then the mail from like the potential customers would probably be flagged as spam, and your mail is probably not gonna register them and you're not gonna see them. So it's probably smarter to set up your own domain. And so I was like, yeah, also it's not really professional when you use a Gmail address for a business, and I wanted this to be a professional looking aesthetic business. So I tried setting up a domain, but it was so much harder than I expected. I was like, why the hell does it have to be such a hassle to just create a fucking domain? But apparently I was stupid. Like, I was studying electrical engineering, and it did not occur to me that mail domains are actually just like servers of a bunch of computers, like physical servers that are like in some dark, rusty room in some random headquarters in India or something. And so it costs a shit ton of money to maintain and keep up those dark alley servers. And so I paid money for a domain. And I don't remember exactly how much I paid, but I could have paid as much as like $50 in total. Anyways, I created the page and I then created this domain email address, and then I tried to advertise my business on like Discord, my Instagram, my Facebook, and all that. And then I tried to actually advertise through Google. I tried to find some like cheap advertising website, and it said like sign up and then let the magic happen. And so I signed up, and I was like, and the text I received was like, now wait and see the magic happening. And so I sat there, but the magic never happened. Nothing happened after that. So I guess I don't believe in magic. However, I still advertised on Discord and stuff. And so now I had everything set up, and I also needed all the money that I would profit to come somewhere. And so I set up PayPal, but then it said that I have to have like a business PayPal account rather than like an individual PayPal account. So I literally like went through the hassle to set up a business PayPal account. And so eventually I had everything set up. And so I logged into my domain email address and I was like, my inbox is empty. But it's not gonna be empty for long. Soon I will see a bunch of emails from potential customers flowing into my inbox. And so I just sat there on my gaming chair and I just leaned back and I waited for mail to start flowing into my inbox on this domain that I had paid for. Still nothing in the inbox. The inbox was still empty and I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait 5 more minutes. 5 minutes later, still the inbox is empty. But in like 10 minutes, then there's gonna be some inbox flowing in. And so I'm just sitting there comfortably on my gaming chair, sipping some coffee, and I just patiently wait. Still no email coming in, the inbox is still empty, but soon someone will start emailing me. Soon enough. I'm just gonna give it some time. It's just a matter of time until I'm gonna start making profit. Alright, an hour has passed. Still no one wrote to me, but soon they will start writing into me. And then I did other things because I have a quite busy life. I had to eat food, I had to sleep, I was playing video games, going to the gym. And once I finished doing that, I came back and I logged into my email again and I was like, now, during the time when I was busy, I probably got some new mail. Alright, I'm logging in again. Oh wow, the inbox is still empty. Okay, I'm gonna try the next day. I will get customers the next day. And so the next day, I log in again. Still no mail. Okay, but it's okay. I know. I have my intuition telling me that this inbox will not be empty for long. I can vision that soon I will start seeing mail coming into this domain. I am still not seeing anything, but soon I will. Soon I will. And I kept waiting, sipping my coffee, leaning back against my gaming chair, and just feeling like some professional businessman. Alright, still nothing in my inbox, but soon there will be some. Until one day I was like, okay, I probably need some help with advertisement. I don't think apparently I am not getting anything into my inbox because people are simply not seeing my offer. So I need some help with advertising. And so what I do then is I book a Zoom call with this like financial advisor that is like knowledgeable on advertisement and setting up a business. Is like a business coach or something that speaks Swedish, and we both speak Swedish. And I was like, hey, I need some help with advertising. And so he's like, okay, so can I see your business? And I'm like, all right, so here is my idea. So this is what the business entails, and here is my professional website that I have created, and the text is in English. So this coach is like, okay, so what customers are you trying to reach here? Is it in Sweden or like somewhere else? And I'm like, globally, all over the world. So that's why this is written in English. And the coach is like, interesting. So you are trying to reach out to people from all over the world. And I'm like, yeah, and that's why I need some help with advertising so that people can start flowing into this website. And so people can see this website so that my website will get more reach out there, you know? And that's when the coach said something very interesting. He said something, I don't remember word for word what he said, and he also said it in Swedish, but he said something along the lines of, you think that if your website gets traction and people out there start seeing your website, that you will finally start earning money? And I did not even understand what he meant by that, so I just kind of responded like Brian Griffin in Family Guy, and I was like, I don't know, yeah.
You want me to sit here and explain to you how a plane works? I don't know, yeah. You want to maybe just go?
So the coach was like, so you really think that if your website gets more attention from people, that you will start earning money? And I was like, I don't know, yeah. And the coach was like, no! Because people are gonna see your website, they're gonna see your product, and they will still not want to buy your product because they will buy your product from somewhere else, like this company A, instead of you. And when you are trying to sell your product globally rather than just in Sweden, you don't just get more customers, but you also get more competition. But if you really want me to help you advertise this business, you would have to pay like a shit ton of money. He said like many thousands of bucks at least. And so I was like, okay, I am out. I give up. And that's when he finally managed to drill into my thick skull that my inbox in this domain that I have created would be empty forever. I finally, after all this time, managed to be smart enough to realize that. And that's when I realized that this was a failed business idea. And so I discontinued on this project altogether, and then I don't remember if I tried doing some other business or tried some different way to get rich. Right now I'm trying to make money off of this YouTube channel, so please subscribe so that this channel can get more traction. But anyways, so I learned some things from this failed business idea. I learned that first of all, just because you get traction and you manage to successfully advertise to as many people as possible does not mean that people are still gonna buy your product if your product is shit. And you probably don't think your product is shit at all. You are probably laughing like in the middle of the night and you're like, ha, I am Yusuf. And you are thinking to yourself that this is like the smartest, most brilliant idea imaginable. But sometimes you have to be humble and realize that your idea is not as clever as it sounds. And you probably think your product is amazing, but in reality it's shit. It's garbage. Another thing that I have learned is that when you are trying to reach out to more people, it doesn't just automatically mean, oh, more customers, so you can get more money from different people. It also means more competition, because you then, when you are not just trying to go for people in, for example, Sweden, but for people in other countries, then you are competing with businesses that go for people in those other countries. And so rather than trying to target as many potential customers as possible so that you can earn as much money as possible, you should instead be targeting few but loyal customers that will keep paying their money. They will keep purchasing your services over and over again, and so they will pay money to you over and over again. And so even though you're gonna get money from a very limited amount of people, you're gonna keep having that income from those people, and that is how you're gonna make a lot of money and potentially be rich. So having a few but loyal customers is much more important than having a broad range of a bunch of potential customers that are probably not gonna be loyal. The third thing that I learned was that Andrew Tate's advice was dog shit, and Andrew Tate does not have credibility after all. Sure, he might be rich, he might be having all those Lambos and Bugattis, but he got all that by doing borderline illegal activity. We all know that. So you shouldn't really be listening to him when it comes to how to make a lot of money. You should probably be listening for financial advice from people that got wealthy in slightly more legal ways. Just saying. But the fourth thing, and the most important thing that I have learned, was that it was stupid of me to be so convinced that I would make money off of it, to be so entitled to the outcome of making money. I was so entitled, I was so convinced that I literally wasted $50 on that domain. And I just kept leaning there on my gaming chair, so convinced that people would start flowing into this inbox and that this inbox would not be empty for long, only for this coach to finally then drill into my thick, stupid skull that this inbox would be empty forever. So yeah, if you are interested in starting your own business and becoming rich from that, now you know what not to do when starting a business.